SKN. When it comes to food, every country does it differently. Each country has its unique combination of ingredients inspired by its cultural identity. Today we will be highlighting one of these foods specifically, and that food is sushi. Sushi is a Japanese dish of prepared vinegared rice accompanied by a variety of ingredients such as seafood, often raw, and vegetables. While these may be the basic ingredients, the styles of sushi and its presentation vary widely. Kenneth Bobb, Operations Manager at Rituals Sushi, has brought some sushi here to Good Morning SKN, and he will share with us how Rituals Sushi adds its unique touch to this food of Japanese origin. Welcome to Good Morning SKN.
Welcome, good morning.
Thank you for having us.
Well, you are representing the us,
Yes.
so yes, definitely. So what type of sushi do we have on display here?
So what would have happened is that initially they would have started with just the basic raw fish, which we know here as sashimi. We have here demonstrated as sashimi. It's just like the root.
Okay.
Always the highest quality cuts. Sometimes you would want to use it from the stomach area. That's where you tend to get the nice fat and everything else.
Yeah, the lean meat.
And in this instance is salmon. We also use tuna. That's one of the more popular fishes. We also tend to sometimes have things like eel. Persons might be familiar with eel. Persons might be familiar with shrimp. If you would cook the shrimp, obviously you can serve shrimp raw. So what has happened is that this Asian cuisine, which was basically centered around raw fish and the consumption of raw fish for health as well as entertainment purposes, has now transformed into different varieties. And they've added all different types of condiments, sauces, shapes, colors, and this is what we have here now in St. Kitts. This is our version of it here. What we have here now is crunchy roll. This would consist of things like crab, the mayo crab. You would have tuna, you would have things like cucumber, stuff like that comprising. I also brought a spicy tuna roll for us. That is just basically the tuna itself, and it has its own special spicy sauce plus a mayonnaise. And then, as I mentioned before, we also have the sashimi, which is two nicely cut pieces of salmon placed on a bed of cucumber. I should also say before we start indulging is that the term sushi came from the preparation of the rice. It refers to the rice in particular. And the rice is what really makes the more common modern day rolls a lot more popular, because it's that little acidity. You get a sweet acidity when you consume the rice along with the fish, and that tends to offer a nicer contrast on the palate. So the preparation of the rice, as I was trying, because I knew persons wanted to see a demonstration, but I had to explain that the demonstration would have been pretty difficult given the fact that the preparation process is very, very long, it's intense. And from my research, it takes something like 10 years for someone to actually become a good, recognized sushi chef. And you would think that this, is supposed to be easy to learn and put together, but it takes hours of intense training, repetition of methodologies and stuff like that. And then eventually, and also a very good eye for quality meats, because whoever is your sushi chef, the one thing they must demand is the highest quality meats at all time, so that you don't necessarily want to find yourself consuming raw fish that aren't necessarily good.
Yeah.
So that's about as much as I can help you, given the fact that I'm, not of Japanese origin, but we've been doing this for a few years at Rituals Sushi now, so there's a bit of familiarity with it and a bit of comfort with it now. Previously, I could not eat raw fish. I started with more cooked rolls, like the spicy calamari we offer, and then there's the shrimp tempura with cooked, and then eventually you make your way into the raw fish.
All right, well, I'm going to take baby steps here.
Okay.
So I'll let you recommend.
For you, JB, seeing that you haven't done this before, I would say you could start with the crunchy roll. I deliberately brought a cooked roll so that you can have it without necessarily going into the raw fish aspect of it. And then there's the persons who don't mind, a bit more adventurous like yourself.
How did you know? Oh my gosh.
You can either go for the straight sashimi or you can try the spicy tuna, which tends to have a little bit of a kick to it.
And I love pepper sauce because I'm Guyanese. So yeah,
brilliant,
anything spicy,
So
I'm good to
Perhaps I'm going
go.
to watch you. You go.
You gonna watch me?
I'm going to watch you. I've never eaten
All right.
with
So
chopsticks.
I don't know how you do it. Now, I should also say that there are many different ways in which we can eat it. What I have noticed on mainstream media is that they will take the soy sauce and put a little bit of the wasabi and they mix it in. And then, is that how you do it?
Yes.
Okay, great. So you could go ahead and demonstrate.
The veteran.
That's exactly how I do it.
Goes the weasel.
I'm a little bit more nuanced. I tend to want to eat the ginger, which you find
I
provided.
also put the ginger with it too, you know.
You put the ginger with it as
It's a
well?
whole combination.
Oh, wow.
Whole combination.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Great.
what you would need then, Jamie, from here is just a little bit, the use of the...
I'll let her go.
Yeah. I don't need to be involved at this point. She has taken over.
Oh, hi.
Brilliant. So you... Wasabi inside.
I'm trying to get my ginger too.
What ginger too? Nice. You mix it in there. Wow, you have this thing. You've been doing this for years.
You can tell, right? Down to a T.
Excellent.
Oh my gosh, my mouth's salivating already and it has not touched it.
But it does add a lot of variety of flavors because the wasabi is a bit spicy. The soy sauce is sweet and salty. And then the ginger has, again, another little
Kick.
kick to it.
Smell it. It smells like
my
an interesting
God.
blend.
It's usually young ginger that is preserved in vinegar and sugar.
Look at that. Ooh la la.
So there's a lot of preservation going on in terms of, I guess, because you can't, in those days, when you're saying this about 400 years ago when it first came about, you could not preserve fish like we do today in terms of freezing and stuff like that.
So you guys are ready
The
for
moment
the
we've been waiting for.
Moment
Oh
of truth.
my God. A moment
Ready?
of truth. Yep.
Was that the wasabi?
No,
Everything?
that was the taste. Everything
Brilliant.
is just good.
Brilliant.
Yep.
Brilliant. All right, your turn now, Jamie. So first you get your chopsticks. I can't help you with that because I myself am not very good with them.
So how do you...
Okay, like others, what we do is we find our own methodology that works best for us. You know,
okay.
Usually it's a case where this here acts as the pincers part of it, and there's a bit of control there, and then you.
I don't take mine apart so it becomes easy
I
for
was
me.
doing that, exactly.
Yep.
Okay, well there we go.
So what I do now, just...
So you take a roll, whichever one of them, and then you would want to dip it with
Gonna
a
dip it
little
in the same
more
sauce?
I'll give him a little more sauce, given the fact that he's a newcomer. He might want the
Yes, Jamie's the newcomer, guys.
he might want the salt contrast.
Just gonna scoot over. Thank you very much. It's already falling apart, but hey,
Hold it together.
hold it. Yes, I try.
You really made a disaster out of that one.
Thank you very much, Bob. I appreciate that so much. First time is a charm.
You're not even getting a first say. That's the first quarter. Go ahead, finish it.
Go to Jamie, go to.
You guys don't get hurricanes in Trinidad, right?
Not very many, no.
How you like that?
I like it. Cooked rolls. Try a little bit of the shrimp inside there. That's cooked shrimp there.
Yeah, I
So,
think I got
what
it.
is your most famous sushi roll at Rituals?
Whee! I mean, that depends on, I guess, the type of connoisseur that you are, you know. More often than not, you find persons tend to go for this or the shrimp tempura roll, which are cooked rolls. Persons who are more seasoned tend to go with what you just had, which is a plain sashimi, and that's how they prefer it.
They don't know what they're missing. Jamie, you want to try to play one?
We want to thank you definitely for stopping by again.
My pleasure.
Listen, this was really good. So you know where to find it. Rituals Sushi.
Rituals Sushi on Frigate Bay Road.
Yeah.
I'm certain your co-host already knows our
Oh,
address.
you can tell. You can definitely tell. So
yes, I know where it is.